So the first loss since October, um, and it feels very painful. Um, because this game really was there for the taking. I mean, after we scored the first goal, you really were saying, "Yo, you got to get the second goal against Fulham. You have to get the second goal because if that game stays at 1-0, that's a dangerous, dangerous scoreline." And what did we do? We lost that game from the 80th minute. And I'm not gonna lie, like, yo, Maresca, your subs in the last couple of games have been very disappointed. I think, like, bro, we could have managed this game a lot better. You know, you not having Vega as an option on the bench, you not having, Noni as an option on the bench. I really thought just backfired. Like, it could be, bad, it could be anything. It could be bad training habits over the week, and you felt like, what, someone else has to take a spot. But these are the type of games where you have to have your best options either available on the bench or to start this game. And it just, after we scored, you thought, okay, maybe we're going to get a few more goals here and there. And then we just kind of just were toothless. We didn't do much. And we don't deserve to get, anything out of this game, to be fair, with the way we played. But Robert Sanchez again. You know, I've said this so many times. Sanchez will win you games and Sanchez will lose you games. So just buckle up, get ready, because that's just what it's going to be. It makes no sense how you can go ahead, 3 games on the spin, you win this massive, massive points, and then, like, bro, the game was already going to be a draw, okay? It's one of those, a minute to go, it's 1-1. I understand there's a sense of urgency, but you can't just leave your team exposed like that. You take the draw, you go back to the drawing board, and you keep working. 1 point instead of 0 points is better than none. So the fact that this guy just kicked the ball right back to Fulham, kick started a whole other attack, and we conceded in the dying minutes of this game is it's genuinely, it's embarrassing. And honestly, it's just, what do we do now with Sanchez? Like, it's just the consistency in this guy is just, it's just up and down. It's up and down, and it's sad, bro. Like, it's annoying, But at the end of the day, good game by Fulham. They got all 3 points. They've been giving the bigger teams a really torrid time this season, and Chelsea has been no exception. Starting 11, it seemed like the best starting 11 you can play. Maybe the options on the bench is where you kind of look at it and go, why is Vega not there? Why is Noni that there? Like, these are options you want to have. And then also it's like, okay, the game is not going the way you want it. You could take off Sancho, you could put Neto on the other flank, put Palmer on one side, bring Felix in, and just kind of give this team a different dimension to attack and to try to find, solutions to the problem, which happened to be Fulham. Didn't do any of that, and we lost it. Now, to be fair, you're going to lose games, in the Premier League. You're going to lose some games to Fulham, at home. And it's just, unfortunately, that's how the game goes. But I thought we could have definitely managed this game a whole lot better. We could have managed this game a whole lot better. It looked like the first teamers, these guys were tired, bro. And Fulham just kept bringing on fresh leg after fresh leg after fresh leg. And we just brought it in Kunku, and that was it. Like, you got to be able to bring some sort of like new energy into the game. When you see your team is on the back foot, you bring options. You have them on the bench, you got to trust them. You want to bring in Cassidy to win aerial duels, you bring him in. You have Gil on the bench, you're taking off Jackson, you still want that intensity when you press, you bring on Mark Gil. Like, I'm sorry, you got to do something different. You keep saying Nkunku is not a striker. Stop playing him as a striker. Like, when you play him as a striker and it works, we love it. But when it doesn't, we're going to be like, bro, what are you doing? Yeah, it's just what it is. But this game was very disappointing. I really thought we were going to win this game, kind of bounce back from the draw against Fulham. And now it's just, we're going into Ipswich and we're slightly out of form right now. I mean, I wouldn't say in the grand scheme of things we're majorly out of form, but it's still concerning. And Ipswich is going to give you another disgusting low block. It's away from home. How do you, address that situation and how do you win that game? But I think Maresca definitely in this game, even against Everton, I think that's where we kind of just didn't pick up maximum points. The substitutions, you got to make them right. You got to bring him early. You got to give yourself options. It's just it sucks, bro, because now Arsenal can actually win, be on equal points with us, and then potentially we're going down to third, which is not the worst thing. But we've gone from potentially being 1 point behind Liverpool to being 7 points behind Liverpool right now. That's how quick these things can change. Liverpool win that extra game in hand now. That's 10 points, but there's still a lot of games to be played between now and then. Um, so you're gonna expect other teams around you to drop points, but that's cool. But this game, we should have won this game. I thought Tosin was impressive again, getting another start. Colwell. There's been something that has been very reoccurring in his games where he keeps playing the opposition players on side. He keeps doing that. He keeps being the last person for some reason who doesn't know when to push up, and then we can see goals. So I hope that's something that Maresca will roll back the tapes. You got to let these guys understand. Hey, in the last couple of games, this is where we've really been fucking up, and we got to tighten up. We understand, and we've said this. We're not in the title charge. We're not challenging for the league. This is really about solidifying top four, and just making sure that we have a better season in general, win the Conference League, FA Cup, and see how you go from next season and beyond. But this, you've put yourself in a very good position where you have an opportunity to really keep opening the gap on your opponents. You could open the gap on Arsenal, on Man City, who drew, and then we just went and lost again. So it's kind of like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I thought this performance was just disappointing because we really had this game, better game management from this team, and then we would have walked away with all three, soak up a little bit of pressure and hit Fulham on the break. But we don't have the guys who can bring that new injection of pace. Noni could have been a threat on the pace. Joao Felix could have been a threat on the on the break. It's just you got to do better, And the thing is, as good as Maresca has been this season, you still got to criticize when there's criticism that needs to be handed out. And in the last couple of games, he just hasn't found that right balance. I know also you got to consider there's games coming on Sunday, I think Wednesday again. So the games are going to be thick and fast. They're going to be coming in, and you really do have to kind of just, you gotta play your team and give people enough recovery time, and you got to be able to make people just have opportunities. I get that, but it's like, bro, points on the board first right now. You focus on Ipswich later. Have Noni and these guys on the bench. Ipswich, okay, cool. If you won this game and you drew to Ipswich or you lost, all right, cool, whatever. But you got to focus on what's on hand. The goal from Palmer, I mean, that goal was just everything. The first touch, dropping the shoulder, and to just pass that into the net was just everything that embodies Cole Palmer as a player. That's just talent. That's natural. It's not learned. You can't really teach that. Some people just have it, others don't. Enzo Caicedo, again, I thought today, phenomenal. Played really well. Cucurella, I thought he played well as well. Gusto today was just shocking, bro. And it's unfortunate we don't have Lavia, because then, you could have had Caicedo inverted from that right back position, giving us even more, opportunities to break down Fulham and still keeping us defensively resolute. But Gusto, conversations need to be had about this guy's performances. He's been good, but then he's also been really shaky, because you have played Joshua Champong, switched it up after Gusto was just having a torrid time potentially. And this is where Maresca has to trust the squad. You keep saying your squad is good enough. Your squad is strong. You have a really good team, bro. You got to trust the squad more. You see Palmer, you see Sancho, you see Neto, you see these guys kind of just pitching out, you gotta switch it up, add more energy to it. This is one of those games where it's like, all right, bro, we lost it. We just got to keep moving. But we could have walked away with a point instead of with nothing. So that's my only concern. But in the grand scheme of things, it's just you're gonna lose certain games, you're gonna draw certain games. Unfortunately, it came at home to Fulham, who haven't beaten Chelsea at home for 45 years, and then that record goes in smoke today. But it is what it is. Hopefully we come back, we bounce back against Ipswich, um, get the 3 points, even though I know it's not going to be easy. But yeah, very very disappointed. Um, and it's just it sucks. It sucks. We went from a winning position to losing this game. And I just can't. I just can't. I can't. I ain't even got the words to say. Question is, do you draw up Sanchez for Jorgensen in the next game? Potentially not, because Noah Maresca is not going to do that. Um, you like to think Noni comes into the starting 11 potentially for Neto. You gotta watch Neto and his fitness as well. Um, and it's a shame you don't have the option of Misha. If you had Mudrik, that could have been another option on that side. But now you got to go with Tyreek George, who is really not the most experienced. So we still have a decent squad. We still have a good squad, and the coach just has to really trust it. But Fulham 2, Chelsea 1. Very disappointed. Man of the match, got to give it to Muniz. Came in, scored the winner, and just did us dirty. But yeah, I ain't got really much to say, guys. Sub to the channel, like the video, comment. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.